Cuba, it's me. Welcome to episode 223 of the Willow Show, which stands for Wrestling is Life. Life is Wrestling. Now, if you're a fan or a wrestler, a referee, a manager, a promoter, part of the ring crew, whatever your place is in this world of professional wrestling, what is your show day routine? Do you have a routine that you stick to? Do you just wing it? How do you go about preparing, or if you prepare at all, I don't know how it works. How do you prepare for a wrestling show? This is pretty much my show day routine. I get everything I can possibly get done the day before the show. And then I try and be lazy all day to save and preserve my energy. Um, a couple of things I do, I always check my gear bag, make sure everything's in there, make sure everything's ready to go, make sure I'm not going to run into a problem later where I'm unprepared or whatnot. So the gear bag is a very important thing for me. I try and eat something way before the show, like really early. I try and have a meal, and I try and have some kind of something good in there, like something with vitamins or something, maybe a couple berries or something, or an apple. And I always do it way before the show because if I eat right before, it upsets my stomach, and because I still get nervous, I still get butterflies, I still get excited. So I try and eat like 4 or 5 hours before the show, and then I don't eat again until after the show. Um, I always try to trim my nipple hair and my armpit hair because it's no fun having someone's armpit hair rubbed in your face when you're giving a headlock. So I always try and take care of that. And I always have a nice shower because I don't want my opponents to smell my ridiculously nasty BO. And also, I have the cameraman, so I make sure that he's well fed. Sometimes, if it's a long trip that we're going on, I pack him like a snack box with his lunch kit with a bunch of stuff and make sure that he has stuff to keep himself busy. Like he'll bring his Game Boy or his Discman or some books to read and whatnot. And then he usually sells some of the wrestlers' merchandise. So, as far as mentally how I go about it, I try not to think about it too much. I always notice the night before I start really thinking, but then I'm like, okay, calm down, because I don't like to prepare too much because I don't know what the plan for the show is. I don't know the story. Things may change. Maybe I'm not going to end up wrestling the person that I was supposed to wrestle. And plus, when you're wrestling someone else, they may have a completely different idea in their head. So I try not to plan too much. And I find too, like a lot of times where I have good stuff planned, I get to the show and then some guy that hasn't wrestled very much is like, "Oh, this is what I want to do, and this is what I want to do, and this is what I want to do," and it's like, you don't want to hear what I want to do, so I like to just feel it in the moment now and just kind of wing it. But I do start thinking about it. I like to visualize. So if like there's a couple of signature moves that I do, I visualize myself doing them. I find that helps me um, to perform them later on because I'm like, oh, I've already done this, even though it's in my brain. So that's pretty much it. I don't do anything that special. I do a little bit of cardio. Like I said, I like to save my energy. I'm not one of those guys that likes to get all worked out and work out before the match. I'll do that the day before or the day after. But the day of the show, I'll try and do a lot of stretching. Like I don't know if it's considered yoga or not, but my back is really bad, so I try and like stretch each and every way and get it all adjusted the way it should be and stretch my hamstrings out and try and do like a little bit of cardio, but nothing to overexert myself. And I do it way earlier so that I have a lot of time to rest after that. But I'd really like to hear what you do. If you're a fan, is there like a certain shirt you wear or a certain way you go about getting ready? If you're a wrestler, is there like a routine you have? Like they say, baseball players are superstitious. Is there any superstitions with you? Any good luck charms that you have, or anything like that, or just routine where you have to do this before this, like that kind of stuff? Because as always on the Willow Show, like or you get a leg drop, comment or you get a clothesline, subscribe or you get a suplex. I'm your host, Elian Habanero. I love wrestling. Cuba.